Relationship goals? It's not matching outfits. It's matching energy. Growing together. Supporting each other's dreams. Being each other's peace. That's the real goal. They met in that strange space between chaos and calm, the kind of place where life feels like it's moving too fast to catch your breath, but somehow still slow enough to notice the little things. She was the kind of person who believed in doing things with purpose. She didn't do anything halfway. Whether it was choosing her clothes in the morning, working late into the night on a creative project, or falling in love, she gave everything 100%. But sometimes, that left her exhausted. Sometimes, she gave so much that she forgot how to receive. He was different. Not less intense, just more grounded. He had dreams too, big ones, but he moved through life like someone who understood that growth doesn't always look pretty. He knew that showing up wasn't about perfection. It was about presence. And when he looked at her, he didn't see someone she needed to be. He saw who she already was. They weren't perfect for each other because they matched exactly. They were perfect because they matched energetically. Because they both believed in something deeper than romance. They believed in growing together, not just staying together. In supporting each other's evolution, even if that meant changing, even if that meant moments apart. One morning, over coffee, she asked him what he thought made relationships work. He didn't hesitate. "It's not matching outfits," he said, smiling. "It's matching energy." She laughed at first, thinking it was poetic. Then she realized he meant it literally. "It's not about pretending you're the same person," he continued. "It's about wanting the best for each other, even if that best looks different from what you imagined." That stuck with her. Because that's exactly how she felt when she watched him play music. When he stood on stage, eyes closed, fingers dancing across the strings, she didn't feel like she needed to be part of his spotlight. She felt proud just to witness it. To know that she was the one he came home to after pouring his soul out to strangers. And when she poured herself into her work, designing clothes that told stories, that carried meaning, that challenged norms, he didn't try to change her process. He didn't tell her to slow down or speed up. He just listened. He asked questions. He reminded her why she started in the first place. There were hard days, of course. Days when doubt crept in. Days when she questioned whether she was good enough. Whether she was chasing the right dream. On those days, he didn't offer empty reassurance. He offered truth. "You created something beautiful," he'd say. "That's not luck. That's talent. You don't need permission to believe in yourself. Just keep going." And she did. She pitched her idea to the board. Nervous, shaking hands, heart racing. And when they said yes, she called him before she even celebrated. Because that win wasn't hers alone, it was theirs. A shared moment of belief, of effort, of love that lifted her higher. He had his own struggles too. Nights when he walked off stage feeling like he gave everything and still fell short. Times when rejection stung more than he let on. And every time she was there, not trying to fix him, not trying to make it all better, but reminding him that his worth wasn't tied to applause. "You showed up," she'd say. "That's brave. That's powerful." Their relationship wasn't built on grand gestures. There were no extravagant gifts or perfectly planned surprises. Their love lived in the quiet moments. The way he made her laugh when she was too tired to smile. The way she waited up for him after his shows, even when she had early meetings the next day. The way they could sit in silence and still feel completely connected. People used to ask them, "What are your relationship goals?" And they'd exchange glances, knowing the answer wouldn't fit in a single sentence. It wasn't about 5-year plans or checking boxes. It wasn't about being each other's everything. It was about being each other's peace. Not pressure. Not drama. Not chaos. Peace. The kind of peace that comes from knowing someone sees you clearly and loves you anyway. The kind of peace that lets you breathe easier, even when life gets messy. The kind of peace that says, "You can grow. I'll grow with you. We might change, but we won't lose each other." When she got the call that she was going to Paris for Fashion Week, she didn't scream or jump up and down. She cried. Because she knew what it meant, not just professionally, but personally. It meant she was becoming who she was meant to be. And she turned to him, tears in her eyes, and whispered, "Will you still be here when I come back?" He kissed her forehead and said, "I'll always be here. Even when you're across the world, I'll be here. In your corner, in your heart." And he was. Through every step. Every new city. Every challenge. Every triumph. Because that's what real love does. It doesn't hold you back. It doesn't tie you down. It lifts you up. It gives you wings and trusts that you'll return. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Years later, sitting on the rooftop of their building watching the sunset, she leaned into him and said, "Do you remember when I asked you what makes relationships work?" He smiled. "How could I forget?" She took his hand. "You were right. It's not matching outfits. It's matching energy. Growing together. Supporting each other's dreams. Being each other's peace." He kissed her temple. "That's the real goal," he whispered. And as the sky turned golden and the city hummed softly beneath them, they sat in silence, not needing to say another word. Because sometimes, the most beautiful thing two people can share isn't words. It's the quiet understanding that they've found something rare. Something real. Something that lasts.